Get comfortable and take a slow breath in and out. And one more to clear the last year, the last day of the year. Okay.
Thank you for that.
Oh,
Yippee.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I have something to share that my publisher sent me. It was a winter solstice blessing. May the longest night and the shortest day bring rest to your mind and soul, I pray. May you find guidance and may you find peace as the cycle of light will slowly increase. Embrace the magic that the darkness bears. Breathe deep in the chill and the shift in the air. May you always be blessed with the light from within, and may well being be yours as a new cycle begins. Isn't that lovely?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
What are we supposed to be talking about today? Oh, New Year's resolutions we broke or didn't make or
Or intentions for this year.
intentions. Who wants to start?
I asked ChatGPT for a little thing. Let me see if I can find it.
Is it this week Carrie's with her nephews? Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Charlie's traveling too.
Okay.
Yes. I'd like to start the New Year's resolutions. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I just want to say that and I apologize. I'm in my PJs and haven't even brushed my hair, so you don't want to see me.
All right.
So I'm not trying to be incognito. But anyway, I just want to say that I've learned this year, and I continually learn this year, that if I put my best foot forward and know that, spirit always has the best for me, and that maybe there's a little dip in the road, that in the long run it's the best for me. And I've seen that when I look in the past or recent past or even in the future. I know that is true. So I'm just going to always hold that in my heart, but also know there's that old movie, the Poseidon Adventure. Remember, they climbed up to the top of the thing. I'm not just going to sit there and lay with just pray and say, oh yeah, I'll be saved. I'm going to be also putting my step forward, because I know that spirit is telling me what to do. And when I get that feeling in my tummy, then I know that's what I need to do. Sorry, I just want to add some humor there, but I hope I'm bearing the seriousness of it. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
And one thing I always do, I read it somewhere, is at the stroke of midnight, you open your front door to let the new year in, and you open your back door to let the old year out.
Aw.
And you stand with your left foot up in the air so that you start the new year on the right foot.
Right foot. I love it.
That's fun. Who
If
can
I
stay
did
up
that,
till
I would have
midnight?
2 cats outside instead of inside.
Yeah.
You just
I'm
open
sorry,
it a little.
Nikki. Just open a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
No, my
Like that.
question was, who can stay up till midnight anymore?
Not
well,
me.
I do. I'm a night owl anyway. I've
Are
always
you?
been a night owl. Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
Not a morning person.
No, they're not my favorite times either. I've been doing weird stuff. I've been going to sleep at 6 o'clock, sleeping till 9:30, and then getting up and staying up until 2. Go figure that one.
That happens to me too sometimes. Like
Yeah.
in the middle of the night, there's like this period where I just can't sleep.
Mm.
But then I take a nap in the morning. So my Aura Ring, which gives me my sleep scores and all that stuff, it's reminding me to
Yeah.
go to bed at 5 a.m.
Oh,
I've thrown it off completely.
okay. Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
usually
I
read
think,
about midnight
Do you?
and then
oh,
pop to sleep.
Me too.
Wake up about first time about 7, and then again about 9. Get up.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think it's a product of aging. They say we don't need as much sleep, but I think we need them in short increments instead of 8 hours. If I actually sleep 8 hours, I feel like I'm drunk when I wake up. Figure that one.
Yeah.
Well, I've even tried some gummies to try to help me go to sleep, because once I'm asleep, I'm good, but it's getting to sleep that's really hard.
Try reading a boring book.
I've tried that.
That works every time for me.
I prefer to turn my little TV on in my bedroom and watch that until I set a timer so it shuts itself off if I fall asleep.
Ooh. We don't watch television, so. Ooh.
You're not missing a lot, Paula. There's not a lot that's worth watching.
No, I watch the old sitcoms. There's a channel called Rewind, and it's all the old sitcoms, and they are so funny.
I always think it's a good idea to watch a comedy before you go to sleep, because then you go to sleep with a laugh on your heart.
Yeah,
Plus,
Good.
I always worked jobs that required I work. So
What's that?
Sorry.
Called reverberation.
I always saw comedies when they were in reruns.
Is your mic still on, Laura?
No, it's not.
No? No? Then why do we?
It could be the phone. Sometimes when somebody's on their phone, it does that.
Somebody's on their phone,
it does.
It's me. It's me. I'm trying to.
Oh, okay. All right, Kevin, try that again.
Well, I never saw programs when they were originally aired, so I always got to watch comedies and reruns. So I never had to wait from week to week to see the next episode. I've never been one to really make resolutions, but my goal this year is just to hopefully grow spiritually. And go into new avenues. There's a couple of areas that I have a great deal of interest in, and I just have to figure out how to do it without going out of the house or paying for it. You know, and I just figure the divine will give me what I need. But I lost it. A friend of mine had posted on Facebook greeting, and his goal was just to stay on the right path. And he was wishing everyone a year of resilience. And I thought, what a simple message. And you know, I like to keep my life simple.
That's the suggestion.
Yeah. So that's my goal for next year, and to be of service in any way that I can be.
Yeah.
Danny, welcome.
Hi, Danny.
Guys,
How are you?
bless
you?
y'all. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Good.
Looking handsome
Life
as
is
ever.
still life.
How's your year been?
Well, everything's always good now. But it's been, how's it been? I'm still working to establish certain things that I want to establish with the renewable energy technologies that I've been working on. And I'm still looking for a good meditation that works. I meditated for a long time with stuff that got me pretty deep, but right now I don't have a meditation that really takes me there, or I need to just keep working in certain areas so that certain different meditations take me there, if that makes sense. So that's how it's been. I'm still working on renewable energy stuff, and I'm semi-retired from construction, so I've only worked part-time. So that's how it is. And I still have ambitions of hoping for the world to get to be a lot more cooperative place. I think that would be the main thing. The world needs to cooperate. We have the blessing of this amazing planet, and a lot of amazing people who live on it, and of course with a lot of conflict areas too. And but people, I would like to see, that would be a goal. I would like to see more people come up to the awareness of what we already have and start cooperating and working together more, because that's all we have to do. We already have God on our side, and we already have an amazing home planet. So it's just a matter of looking at our conflicts with each other in different ways, so that they get resolved.
I'm involved with a couple of organizations that support the Buckminster Fuller perspective, and that they bring back nature's laws and said people can coexist in small groups of recycled, regenerative kinds of initiatives, and they can make well on it. And so there's the technical side that talks about decentralized governance of the DAOs, or the decentralized autonomous organizations. But then on the nature side, there's regenerative agriculture and regenerative smart cities. And so I've got a couple of people who are cooperating in community to rebuild, like one in Costa Rica is rebuilding the jungle where it was deforestation for a long time. And so they said after a 3-year period, they were planting trees for use by the community within the community and for sale. But what happened when they started doing that, not that they were trying to repopulate the jungle, but it did. And so the jungle's coming back, the rivers came back. He said they got the frogs back. So it's a pretty remarkable story.
I'll check that out.
Yeah.
At the Bucky Fuller Foundation?
Buckminster Fuller, I think there is a foundation. There's a lot of work. His work is very robust. So you just Google Bucky Fuller and you'll find it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Got a filmmaker who's making a World Game documentary, and Buckminster Fuller is the author of his World Game on how to coexist in cooperation.
Oh, okay.
So this guy's going to be doing some research over the next year or so and putting together a very interesting film on that very thing. There's another woman on Australia, Christine McDougall, who runs Simtropic World, and she's based on Bucky Fuller's philosophies too. And what she proposes is that you teach and you invent ways of cooperating with nature's laws behind you, but you're doing it for the purpose of zero exploitation of human and work in those sorts of situations, and then zero colonization. So all of these, hierarchies and top 1% owning and controlling everything is not the model. And so what they're doing is they're saying people can collectively come together and coexist and manage their lifestyle in such a way that there doesn't need to be the dominance, and people don't need to be doing all 9-to-5 work because we're skilled in other things. And so you just find those matching pods and coexist. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, those are great referrals. Definitely.
What's her name again?
Christine McDougall.
Thank you. Is that an MAC or an MC?
MC.
MC. Okay. Thank you. To look her up.
Yeah.
Good. Cool. Well, how's everybody else doing? You guys been going along for a while, or you just started today?
20 minutes. Well, we had our social half hour prior. Talked about the ministry and the year-end stuff. We're doing a little fundraiser. We just lost our financial person, so we're rerouting everything into the right accounts and making sure that that's a smooth transition.
And if you come on at the top of the hour, I've been doing some Tibetan singing bowls at the beginning for a few minutes.
Yep.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of that. I've been teaching a lot of it too.
That's a meditation for you, Dan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Tibetan singing bowls. There are several YouTubes and all kinds of places where you can find the singing bowls. They're very meditative.
Do you guys have a regular meeting time on Sunday morning? Is it 9 o'clock?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
9 o'clock Pacific.
We do the precursor at 8:30, but then 9 o'clock is the official program.
Okay.
Not that we're very professional, and it doesn't have to be anything more than conversation in some cases. We've had some guest speakers, so it's been interesting.
We've had some very interesting topics, I think. I've been quite impressed.
Well, I'll check it out.
And they're all on YouTube.
They're all on YouTube. Yeah. Kevin puts them on YouTube for us, bless him.
And is it the same Zoom that I just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a few months ago, well, not even a month ago, maybe, we had one of my friends talk about near-death experiences. That one was very interesting.
Yeah, she was fascinating.
Yeah.
You know, she still hasn't called me, Laura. Should I call her?
No, yeah, yeah. She's probably scheduling still.
I lost her phone number. Can you give it to me again?
I'll send it to you.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. Because I'd really like to do that.
Yeah, she's fascinating. She's quite a medium too. She's very good. Very in tuned.
Mm.
It's Corrine again. I just wanted to add, if any of you have Netflix, I don't know if anybody else has watched it, Surviving Death, that series.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
pretty
that was
incredible. And
it
I just
was.
read, yeah, and I just read that it is based on a book, Leslie Kean. So I think I'll go get the book. But okay. I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
I actually watched it with Terry Riley down in Virginia when I visited her. And I mean,
Oh.
we were glued to the TV. We just couldn't move. None of us, because her daughter was there too. It was fascinating. Yeah.
How's Terry doing?
She is training puppies for
Senile dogs?
no, for stress. Her nephew got involved because he's in the service. He got involved and he actually got a beautiful dog named Ashley. And we went down there and played with the puppies, and she fell in love with the puppies and decided she wanted to be their original mother. And then they sent him to another mother. So her job is to socialize them, teach them how to poop outside, and things like that.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
always
been,
good.
yeah, that's been driving her crazy. But she has 5 feral cats that she's adopted. Although Fergus J, you wouldn't know he was feral. He glued himself to my side most of the time I was there. So now she has 3 dogs and 5 cats. And in the middle of my visit, there was a windstorm and a tree fell down, missed the house by about 3 feet, but completely demolished her pergola and her swimming pool. Fortunately, she's a lawyer and knows how to fight the insurance company, so they paid for everything to be replaced. So she was good.
Good talent to have.
Yeah. Yeah. So she looks good. She was a little stressed while I was there because of the tree and everything, but the tree had actually rotted from its base and just fell over.
Wow.
It was scary. It just missed my window of my bedroom by about 3 feet.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So somebody was watching over us, but
she's got she's got a nice
time.
little piece of property there, right?
Oh, she does. Yeah, she's got a beautiful, and she just bought a little place on James Island in the Carolinas, that she's renting at the moment, but she may eventually go down there in the winter. She wasn't sure. But it's an adorable little house, and it's on a hill, so it doesn't get threatened by floods. So it's a good investment.
Oh, good, good, good.
And Katie's doing well too. Katie's got a new job with the aquarium. She's actually doing event planning instead of turtle tearing.
She's been with them forever, hasn't she?
Yeah, yeah. Well, she loves the turtles, but I guess she didn't particularly care for the drama that was going on. So she moved to another department, and she's very happy there.
So she loved the turtles, but the people were a problem.
Yeah, the people were a problem. Yeah, especially her boss. So somebody else actually came looking for her in the organization and said, you're just what we're looking for this event planning thing. So she moved up and is making more money and happier. So good for her.
Cool, cool.
Yeah. And I haven't seen you in a while. I just finished my book, my first published book.
Yay!
Yay!
Good.
Finally. Only
What's
took
the
me a year
title?
and a half.
Is it on sale?
It is. It's called Out of the Victim Box: One Woman's Journey to Heal Childhood Sexual Abuse. It just went on Amazon a few weeks ago. It's taken me a while to write it, but we're hoping it'll be successful. We
It's
shall
good.
see.
It's real good.
Say the name again, Paula.
It's called Out of the Victim Box, a teaching memoir of one woman's journey to heal childhood sexual abuse. It was a long time in coming, but I think I did a good job, right, Sal? You and Nikki
you
have read
did.
it.
I'm sure you
You
did.
did. It's well done.
It's
It's
a
well
good
done.
read.
I'm
Thank
sure.
you.
A lot of good
So
information
if
there.
anybody's interested in the near-death experience, they have a once a month meeting the third Monday of every, or the second Monday of every month, and it's on Google Meet. If you're interested, I can send you the link.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I
some
would love that.
really-
Thank
Yeah.
you.
They have
Yeah.
some really interesting speakers.
Yeah, I would love that too. Yeah.
It's always a speaker. See, I don't think I have it on my phone, but she sends it out once a month. And she tells you who the speaker is going to be.
Do we have
Cool.
to pre-register?
Nope,
No.
nope. You can just go on. Yeah. See if I can find the link.
Yeah, I really liked her. She was fascinating.
Oh, some of the speakers are unbelievable. One guy from Boston, he had me in tears because he got overwhelmed when he started talking about the feeling of overwhelming feeling of unconditional love that he said you've never experienced anything like it when you're there on the other side. And while he was talking about it, he teared up and the tears were rolling down his face. It was incredible.
You know,
Anyway.
I happened to watch a near-death experience video the other day, and this guy was a severe right-wing, I don't know why. And his whole vision of what he saw, he got to watch Satan sitting around a board table with all other fallen souls, and they were contemplating how to seize the souls of the devout. Oh my! And it just went on and on and on. And
Wow.
this man, I don't know where he thinks he's getting his info, but it was never a near-death experience I had ever heard before. And
Wow.
it was frightening. This man has millions of followers on YouTube, and that's scary.
Mm. Very scary.
Yeah, the ones I binge watch series of things, and then you find the ones that have these podcasts or these shows where they interview new people each week, and it's like really incredible stuff. But the stories, for the most part, that I've been seeing don't have the dark or the negative piece to it. Although in certain movies, what they do is they depict that purgatory or that bridge in between where people haven't crossed yet,
Mhm.
as being the scary place. But almost all of it is this unconditional love stuff, just like you were saying, and it's like really interesting to read. Kind of helps me get de-stressed when I see that that's, the positive outcome of moving through this life in this body. It's kind of interesting to me. I'm looking for one of the authors.
Listening to him almost made me think my attitude is heaven is going to be exactly what I think heaven would be. If you're a gardener, you would spend your day in the garden. If you were a bartender, you would spend your day mixing drinks.
I
So
like that.
if his near-death experiences is reflecting his view of heaven, that's a really dark view, you know, and it, like he was a really fire and brimstone preacher, about 90 years old out of Texas. And it showed all the way, and it was just, I don't want to share heaven. I don't want to share heaven with that kind of attitude, you know. And I think I think his soul needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and worse yet, he's spreading that message,
Yeah.
and that's not the message of love. That God is love, period. And that doesn't sound like that. And that's going to turn a lot of people off from love, from the messages of love.
You know, I've been going to those meetings for about 10 years now, and I have never heard a negative experience.
Neither have I.
Never. I just put that in there from me in the chat. That's the link, and it's the second Monday of every month.
At what time?
At 7
Eastern?
Yeah. I think it's 7. Wait a minute.
Is that AM or PM?
PM.
Okay.
I think it's 7 o'clock. Wait a minute, let me see. Yeah. 7 to 8:30.
So 4 p.m. Pacific.
The second second Monday of every month. And that's the link for Google Meet.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. And I also added a link to the chat for the Next Level Soul podcast. This is a guy who interviews a lot of celebrities who do this for a living. And it's not just near-death experience, but a lot of it is. So those are really interesting interviews.
Okay.
So one of the things I asked this AI bot, I didn't use ChatGPT this time. I used one called Claude, Claude. And I had it write up a little thing on, and I prompted it to give me personal and ministerial goals. And so
cool.
Some of the bullets. Well, the purpose statement: I seek to grow in wisdom, empathy, and compassion in order to better love others and make a positive difference in my community this year. The personal development goals are: develop a consistent practice of meditation and self-reflection, read literature and poetry from diverse culture and faith traditions, improve work-life balance by limiting work to 40 hours a week or less, volunteer at local food banks or something of that sort once a month. And then the community service goals is to help organize an interfaith event celebrating common values of peace, service, and unity, lead a book club discussion group exploring writings from different faith backgrounds, mentor immigrant youth struggling with cultural adjustment, and provide free tutoring to underserved kids at local community center. And then it gives a little summary, kind of wordy. Anyway,
I think the
40-hour
week should be banned.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Although I love work, I love to work, but I don't want to be boxed into somebody else's schedule. And I think,
well, I'm in favor of 6 hours a day for 4 days a week.
Yeah.
You know, with just a half hour break in between, so 3 and 3. You know, so you're not there all day. But if you're really working, that should be enough in today's world, because again, if we cooperate more.
Well, the year I spent in Hawaii in the intentional community, almost everybody was either 20 hours or less in their week-long commitments. And they just exist that way. They coexist in that way. And so we had anywhere from a dozen to 20 volunteers at any given time. So there were always people around that could do the jobs that nobody else wanted to do. So it's like they would spend 1 or 2 hours harvesting food from the garden. That seemed to be the hardest role to fill. Everybody was willing to plant and all that kind of stuff, but harvesting was the worst. And it's like others wanted to cook it, but they didn't want to go pick it. And so it's like trying to convince
Wow.
people to get that piece of the work done. It's kind of interesting that that was the one job that
That
should
is
be the abundance of a community, and they just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I would think. I love picking things.
Yeah. Guess part of it was climbing trees to get the avocados and the mangoes and such, but
Well, they got little poles and things that,
Yeah.
that you do for that.
Cool.
So maybe
Yeah,
we
but-
could go around. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go
I
ahead.
was just going to suggest we do a round robin on what we're going to do for our ministry maybe this year, as opposed to just personal development. Any goals or aspirations or seeds to plant? Nobody. Paula's got your book, your tour, your book tour or your speaking groups, and how
Yeah,
you
but
take
that's,
that to another
well,
level.
it's, again, I do mention the ministry a lot in the book,
Mhm.
and what we do and who we are, in hopes that we can get more people interested
Yeah.
by reading my book. And I plan to mention it when I do my talks. And one of my Kappa friends, that's my writing group, is an international speaker, and she also works for the UN in some kind of woman's capacity. And she has promised me not only speaking engagements, but she is actually tutoring a bunch of young African women who were part of the human trafficking debacle.
Yeah.
She's teaching them how to run a legitimate business so they don't have to sell their bodies anymore, which
Right.
I think is wonderful. She's also connected me with, and this is a goal when I start making money, she's connected me with a group of African women, who, and men too, strangely enough, who are fighting female genital
Mutilation.
mutilation. Thank you. I knew somebody would come up with that word. And the horrors that it causes, because eventually these women become outcasts because of the complications that they have to put up with. So part of my income is going to go to support them to make changes in their own lives, protect themselves, and teach the world that this is not a good thing. And I was very surprised to find two groups of young men. One are Maasai warriors in Africa, who have actually told fathers that if they mutilate their daughters, they will never marry them, which to me is wonderful and brave. And then the other group just basically, talks to the world about stopping this, because it does happen in the United States too, which really shocked me. So it's not just Africa. And I guess they made a video. I don't know who talked the women into doing a video, but they did a video and showed it to the fathers, and they were horrified because the men were never allowed into this little ritual. It was done strictly by women, on women, against women, I guess I would say. And the men, when they saw the video, were like, "Oh my God, we never knew that." That was what they had to go through.
What's the purpose for the mutilation? What's the?
The purpose was to make sure that the young women did not have sex before they got married and did not enjoy it. And they don't,
And didn't
because
stray.
It's very painful.
yeah, it's very painful. But the complications, I mean, this woman talked about trying to give birth when her vagina had been sewn up. almost to nothing. How awful it was to give birth to her first child. You know, but again, it's women doing it to women to please the men.
Well, I think the main surgery, my understanding, is removal of the clitoris as opposed
Yes.
to sewing up the
Right.
vagina. And so that
Right.
was a way to keep them not sexual so that they weren't
Right.
stray once they were married.
Right. Yeah, right. So they wouldn't have fun before they got married and they
Right.
wouldn't stray, which is
And they
stupid.
wouldn't have fun once they got married.
No, and I think the young men have realized that unless their partners are enjoying themselves, they don't enjoy sex as much. So I think that's what the young man was talking about, why they are against this. They want both parties to be able to enjoy the process. And they also don't want their women to almost die when they have a baby either. So I think that's, and again, in some parts of Africa, they have to be very careful because they can be killed for that attitude. That's how strongly,
Oh my God.
yeah. And the government started paying women not to do this, but then the women were doing it anyway and taking the money from the government. So they have to regulate that business a little better. But yeah, it was, I learned a lot. It was like a 2-hour conference we had on Zoom. But yeah, so I figured that's my goal. That's my way of supporting women throughout the world.
And I read somewhere that there's still like 72 countries that still do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
There's
Little
a lot of
countries, but that's a lot.
And it's a way to control women, they think.
Yeah.
Well, who was it
Being a
that
feminist.
invented sex? I forget. Who was it that invented sex?
Adam and Eve, I think. I think that was what they did. But anyway.
Might have been God.
But they bit that apple.
They bit that apple. Yeah, they both bit that apple. Maybe it was a snake. I don't know.
Well, if they bit an apple, it was also God who created the apples. So
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, it was interesting. It was probably one of the most interesting things I've done this year. So that's my goal for next year, is to help them in any way I can when my book starts selling, because I am determined my book is going to sell. That's my positive thinking for the new year. It's going to take off. It's going to sell. I'm going to be talking to people. I'm going to get it into colleges and nursing schools. And who knows what I got. You know, I've also got an idea for a second book called Her Stories, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of emails coming through with stories.
Yeah.
And
the book is out of the victim box?
Out of the victim box. Yep. And that was given to me by Creator. And Sally did the cover, which was also given to me when I was given the title. And the cover is a woman climbing out of a glass box with all of her lessons floating around her, and she finally gets out of the box. That's the victim box. If I had it, I got it somewhere here. I can't find it. Where are we?
So are any of you experiencing the high surf here in California? I'm going to try to share a post. Dolly, you're muted if you're speaking.
I'm trying to go out to the beach to see it, or as close as I can get. I'm 2 miles from the beach, but I'm at 139 feet above sea level where I am.
I saw videos of the high surf in Ventura County.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a mini tsunami.
Right.
What they said.
I saw that on the news this morning. Yeah.
Is it still going on, or?
Yeah, through Monday morning they're saying.
Yeah.
But I was out yesterday, and I even took a little footage of myself, and it was like, you know how every 7th or 14th wave there's a massive something. That's what was
Mhm.
happening. So they were kind of low, and the seals had all moved up to the hill. But there, in one case, the entire cliff, because we're like maybe, I don't know, 50 or so feet above sea level on the cliff overlooking these beaches, and the waves were coming up to the grass line. It was like
Oh my
amazing.
God.
I know.
Wow.
What causing
Yeah.
all that? Is there a storm in the Pacific?
I don't know. I didn't really look at the history. We've just been having these advisories for about a week now, high surf advisories.
Is there a
And there's a,
volcano up there somewhere that's doing its thing? Because
I don't think
sometimes they
so.
whip up the ocean.
Right.
I
I'm
think it
wondering
was
if
from
it's
storms, I thought. It was from some storms
Was it?
out in the ocean.
Yeah,
I
I
think
haven't
so.
been paying
That's what they,
what's going on out there.
Yeah.
there are all
Wow.
sorts of pictures showing up online about beautiful big moons and whatever. Maybe it has something to do with whatever,
Oh,
because we
yeah,
just had a full
Yeah.
moon.
Right. Yeah.
that could be. That could be.
Hmm.
So I want to, you all know I make teddy bears from clothing of people that have passed away. And I got the sweetest, uh, I don't know I don't know what the word is, but um, I've been doing this for about 20 years. And about 15 years ago, I had a client that her best friend was always there when I went to do Reiki on her. She was in hospice. And she asked me if I had told her about the teddy bears because she had a christening dress that she wanted to know if I knew anybody that could make a teddy bear out of that. And I said, well, I'll try. And I did. But then she asked me to make a bear for her best friend, Pam, out of her favorite green sweater. And this is like 15 years, 20 years ago. The other day, this last Monday, I opened up Facebook and there's a picture of the best friend holding that bear. And this is just last week, holding that bear, and her what she said was, "I'm watching the Willie Nelson special with my best friend Mary."
Oh,
And she was holding that bear, and that was her best friend's name was Mary. And then underneath she said her hospice caregiver made this bear for me out of my best friend's sweater, and I miss her every day. Now that was so cool. That was
Yeah.
very touching.
Yeah.
Uh,
Good
and that's
validation
what
20
I
years
do.
later.
And
Yeah.
that's what I do, and I do that to help people heal from their grief. And I've been teaching a lot of Reiki classes. I have one coming up on Tuesday. And I just finished teaching a Tibetan singing bowl class. And when I do, I always mention our ministry. And I have a couple of people that are interested in learning more about it. So that's what I plan on doing the coming year, more of that.
Awesome.
Great.
Cool. Cool. Good.
And I'm praying every day for world peace.
It's coming.
I have some intentions for this coming year to take my artistic abilities and kick them into high gear. Most of you know that I do Reiki with the henna, with my henna designs, and I intend to, put myself out there more for that. Also, in addition, I have in the recent past created what I would like to put into a couple of books, like coloring books for adults or anybody, with some of my Reiki designs, my henna designs, and I want to do a set, the setup for those archangel healing symbols with my Reiki and stuff, and put those into a coloring book. So I've now got it to the point where I think I can actually produce it. And that's one of my goals for this year, is to get those out there and offer them through the ministry. So we'll see. I'm getting closer every day to being able to do this. So we'll see how well it goes. Paula and Matthew have been a big help so far. And I've got a couple of other people who are real savvy about publishing too. So we'll see if we can't get these off the ground. So that's kind of my goal for this year, is to get that out there to more people. So
Nice.
Good goal. Good goal.
I don't know if you can see this, Danny, but that's what the cover looks like, except it's orange from my book.
But if I Google "out of the victim box," I should
You
be able
should,
to.
yeah, on Amazon. Yeah.
On Amazon, yeah.
But yeah, Sally was kind enough to, and she's got that image smaller as a head of every title of every chapter, which is cool.
It's amazing. I was not aware that those barbaric practices were still going on so widespread.
I was shocked. Yeah,
shocking. It is shocking.
Yeah, it was shocking to hear that it happens in the United States. We're supposed to be so forward thinking to have that barbaric, archaic nonsense happening. But
I put the Amazon link in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Nikki.
You're welcome.
Cool. Anyway, we shall see what happens with that. Anybody else got any ambitions for next year? This year? Next year? Whatever it is. Tomorrow.
For tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes, as my grandmother used to say.
Tomorrow and beyond.
It's true.
Danny, you were talking about the sustainability effort. I have been written into a couple of bids for the city of San Diego and Pasadena to do some work on environmentals. And it's around working with methane gas that's produced from landfills and repurposing that, filtering it and repurposing it so it cleans water, in the end.
Oh, fart energy.
Yeah.
Well, some of my patent work is, one of it is in a different alternative way to do combustion.
Okay.
Because right now, most of the heat from combustion, amazingly, still most of the heat is dissipated. Only about 20 to 35% of the heat is utilized.
Yeah.
So I have a way of utilizing technology and filing patents. And this year, I thought that I could file patents and promote it and get a lot of money so that I could do a lot of other things. And it's just not working out that way. So I've just got to put it out there, what it is, and see what comes, rather than try and create a structure to promote it.
Right.
But it's interesting intellectual property. So that's part of what I'm going to be doing this year.
It seems like people are getting more interested in green than they ever were, which is terrific. Because like Rhode Island has windmills everywhere. We've got a few in Connecticut, not as many, but almost everybody in my outside neighborhood has solar panels. They told me you can't put them on a trailer, which is what I live in. But one of my neighbors in the trailer has solar, so I'm going to be looking at that. Even though we do heat with wood, it would be nice to have free electricity.
Do you get a lot of solar where you are? A lot of direct?
Yeah, we have a really great southern exposure because we're sort of at the top of a small hill and the trees don't interfere. So if we put solar on our roof, we would get some really good, or somebody said a wall is better. I don't know.
Jen and I put solar on our house.
That's right.
What was it, 2 summers ago now?
Yeah.
Almost 2 years. And our house is all electric. It's also an Energy Star home. But with the solar panels on it, we have cut our electric bill. I think we pay $181 a month all year round. And that's pretty much for the rental of or the lease of the panels. And the National Grid owes us a lot of electricity. So it's really been beneficial for us. It runs our whole house. That and then our big wood stove in the geothermal system. But it's yeah, solar's the way to go, baby. If you've got the right exposure for it. And we do.
We can't because we live in a condo.
Right.
It won't
Yeah,
do it.
that would work for you. No, not unless the condo people put them on.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that. It
Or
would
if they
cost
did, they
too much.
charge you for it. Yeah, they charge you
Yeah.
for it. So
Well, of course.
definitely, you know, they're in business.
With regards to the wall, we were going to invest in a wall too, but in Rhode Island, and I forget when it is, but currently you're not allowed to have a wall. With a wall it's just a battery. It's a
Yeah.
huge battery.
Yeah.
And right now it's you cannot, the National Grid won't let you do one in Rhode Island, but that's going to be coming to an end. That prohibition will be coming to an end in about a year or two. And when it does, then we're going to invest in a wall, which means that we can then store that energy on the property, which will be really nice.
When you say a
Yeah.
wall, is it a wall of batteries?
Yeah,
Or-
it's a big battery. It's a wall of batteries, and it takes what comes in through the solar panels and it stores it,
And
and
it's
then
safe?
draw off of that.
In a safe, yeah, it's
Safe batteries now that we're,
So it's a safe
I don't-
system,
pardon?
but National Grid won't let you do it right now because they'll lose money.
right.
If
They'll
they
lose
let-
too much money.
But there's but the prohibition of that is going to be coming to an end in a not too distant future, and then we're going to invest in a wall. So, as our goal was more or less to be off the grid, with this house, and we're pretty close to it as it is. So, anyway,
Good,
So
good, good.
it's
All right, we're winding down.
Yeah.
Anybody else with just last inspirations for your year that we can hold you accountable to? If you allow.
Well, I want to, for this year, I want to find a good meditation that I'm willing to meditate for a half hour to an hour, but and it was very effective in years past, a lot of years past, but now it's not. So I'm in search of really powerful hookup, either with a group that's promoting meditation or just styles of meditation. Maybe there's books on it, I imagine.
I have a friend who does one every day, and it's online, and she loves it. She's been doing it for over a year. I'll find out what it is and I'll let you know.
All right. Dolly, what are your aspirations?
I just plan on moving forward in my life for the better. I want to make some changes in my life this year. It's been had a hard road for like the past 2 years until I met Charlie. So
Beautiful.
that's my goal.
Awesome. Well, you couldn't be with a better family. I love that
No
family.
kidding. I agree.
Yeah.
I got lucky.
Yes, you did. All right.
No, I'm
Yeah, and they're on their way home right now.
Okay.
they are good.
Charlie
Send them our love.
Sauer, or a different Charlie.
No, Charlie and Bobby have taken in Dolly. Dolly cares for Bobby.
Oh,
What is your official title, Dolly? What's your
Um,
certification or
I am a caregiver
okay.
and I'm their live-in caregiver.
Yeah.
say
And
hi to
people
them
in
from Dan.
disguise.
Say hi to them from Dan Carp.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just texted me and said that they just landed at the port and they're on their way home.
Yeah.
Great.
That's a fabulous house. I've been there.
Isn't it? So
Yeah,
has
yeah.
Nikki.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Absolutely
Corrine.
amazing.
Corrine has been here too. Several people have.
Yeah.
He's usually on every Sunday, Dan.
Oh, good, good. Well, I'll
Yeah.
start coming.
Great. Good to
That's
see
one of my
you.
goals.
Very, very good to see you again, Dan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's very nice to see you and hear what everybody's doing. It's
Yeah.
spectacular.
All right. Any thoughts for next week's topic? Anybody want to bring something to the table? We want Michelle back too, Dolly. Let her know.
I know, she's on vacation, and then she has my family there on vacation. My family's there on vacation. So she's been like super busy.
Yeah. 'Tis the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are Terry or Charlie and Bobby on sometimes on this?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're on every
Usually on
Sunday.
every
Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good, 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 good. Well, I'll see you guys next Sunday.
All right.
Okay.
All righty. We'll figure
No
something
ideas
out.
for next week?
We could bring Terry back and have her do a session with us. She comes to speak once in a while.
That would be wonderful. Why don't you reach out and ask her?
Okay.
Talk about meditation. She does great meditations.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then how about that for a topic? And meditations, everybody.
Great meditations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of expectations, great meditations.
Yep. All right. Have everybody a wonderful week. Happy New
Have
Year.
a blessed
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
Be safe.
Don't
be
forget,
well.
Happy
open
New
your
Year.
front door. Open your front door to let
Front
the new
door,
year
back
in,
door.
and back door to let the old year out.
Awesome.
Absolutely. I'll remember that.
All right. Thank you.
Bless you all.
Much
Bye.
love, many blessings.